here we are, Monday, May 19th, 2025. A jam-packed weekend behind us. Another full week of work ahead of us. Got, hopefully, a nice, peaceful weekend in about 5 days. I think it'll be worth the wait, to be quite honest. It was a fun weekend nonetheless. First of all, had the farmers market, and I want to say a huge thank you to everybody who came by our booth, donated non-perishable food donations for the Idaho Falls Community Food Basket. As part of my day today, I got the truck back from the Mountain America Center, drove it all the way to the Community Food Basket, dropped off our boxes of food donated by a lot of K-Bear listeners, so we really do appreciate it. It's going to a great cause. I'm sure we'll post about it on the Riverbend Media Group Facebook page and the other socials that we have for Riverbend as well. Then later that night, we had the 26th annual Second Chance Prom with Classy 97 and Browning's Honey. I had a $10 bow tie that I bought from Walmart. I thought it didn't fit initially, and then I started really trying to put it on and went, oh, okay, it does fit. I'm just a dummy. I had to watch a YouTube video for how to put on a bow tie. Had to wrap it around my neck and put it together. It was nice. It was fun. It was a fun night for sure. I think Jade got a great video of me looking by myself in the corner while everybody else was doing the cha-cha slide, which I cannot stand that song. For some reason, that song in itself, I hate it. Hate it. Hate it worse than Sublime. Yeah, that should show you. And then after the Classy 97 prom, of course, had a little bit of a Sunday to myself before I had to go on down to the Mountain America Center for the awesome show last night. Seether, P.O.D, and Nonpoint. It was awesome seeing so many listeners. I have to apologize to those people that yelled peaches from the seats, and I just didn't pay attention. I was in work mode, full force. I had to guide Maddie to where she needed to go to get pictures from right there in front of the stage. The first time, that was her first ever rock show. And we just put her right in the photo pit area. She actually went into the mosh pit as well herself. Had a great time nonetheless as well. And I'm sure we'll get the videos posted, the pictures posted that we took on our socials as well. And I did a brief stage appearance. Thank you to those that cheered me on, to those that booed. I saw you. I'm kidding. But we'll get that whole thing online as well. I did post in the K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group saying, if you got a picture of me on stage, put it in the comment section of that post that I made. Maddie was requesting it, so I was like, sure, I'll make that post. I think a couple people posted pictures of me on stage. One of them looked really cool because I was in the fog. You couldn't really see me. I kind of looked like the Undertaker if he was bald and fat. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. Again, it was a jam-packed weekend. I'm glad I'm back to a normal weekend. Hopefully there's no surprise remote broadcast this weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend approaching us, so it is going to be a longer weekend, and we're going to be doing some stuff for Memorial Day that I'll talk about later on in the show this afternoon. It's Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. One thing I completely forgot to mention during the intro of my show is that I had the chance to sit down with Dale Stewart, the bassist, acoustic guitarist for Seether. He was awesome to get the chance to talk to. At one point in the interview, he told me that, he was at the Snake River fishing right there in downtown Idaho Falls, right by the Snake River there. Nobody recognized him. And I think Maddie told me that both Seether and P.O.D went to the Snake River Animal Shelter. I thought that'd be rather cool to see those guys just play with puppies. Maybe potentially adopt a dog. Wouldn't that be cool? You're the dog that one of the members of Seether decides to adopt. That'd be pretty neat, right? Get to go to a big house, or maybe just the tour bus for right now, then to the big house. But anyway, I'll get that full interview with Dale Stewart of Seether up on our YouTube channel. It was recorded on video, so I believe Maddie is working on that today on top of a million other things. But I was looking here at this list. So Josh Freese, he was let go from the Foo Fighters. He was called and was and they just told him, hey, you're out of here. So he joked about posting a list of reasons he got booted from the band. And now he's come up with an actual, David Letterman top 10 list. It includes references to The Offspring, one of his former employers, plus the subject of many of his Instagram posts, his poodles. Top 10 possible reasons Freese got booted from the Foos. Once whistled My Hero for a week solid on tour. That could get you in trouble. Could only name one Fugazi song. 2 words. Polyrhythms. Metronome likes precision behind the kit deemed soulless. Demanded starting every rehearsal with a 20-minute cowbell sound bath. Okay, that could do it. Never once tried growing a beard. Didn't show up to studio because Mercury was in retrograde. Promised Noodles from The Offspring he could be the 4th guitarist. Refused to perform unless he was guaranteed a Ouija board and nunchucks after every show. And number 1, the whole poodle thing was getting to be a bit much. Funny, but I think Josh Freese will be all right on his own. I'm sure he'll find something else. Or maybe he can just retire or just be like, hey, if you need a drummer for any upcoming project, he's available. Hey, any local bands, if you have a lot of money, you know of somebody that is quite well off, have them loan you guys a whole bunch of money. Try getting Josh Freese on a track. We'll put that right into 4 locals only. You know, every feel-good radio show, they always do like good people doing good things. Your Feel Good Friday. Happy stories for your happy day. You know, something like that. Viktor shared this on the K-Bear 101 Facebook page. Some good news for your Sunday morning happened over the weekend. You know, Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine, they're finishing up the Poisoned Ascendancy tour throughout the U.S. And I talked about how Matt Tuck supposedly was like, yeah, we're not going to go to South America and continue this tour. We're done with this after the United States. And I think a lot of people down in South America were extremely upset, as they should be. But on Saturday the 17th, Trivium uploaded a video to Instagram documenting the process of saving these kittens and their mother. 3 of the 4 kittens were easy access. One of them had managed to wiggle their way into the inside of a diesel generator. So they set out water and tuna for the mother, who was hiding in a nearby storm drain. Members of Trivium, the band, and the crew collected the 3 kittens that they could, placing them in a cardboard box with water in the shade while they worked on retrieving the stray one from inside. Once they had been secured, Trivium bassist Paolo Gregoletto called the fire department. When firefighters had arrived to the scene, they removed panels from the outside of the diesel generator to gain access to the inside. So they successfully saved a whole bunch of kittens and the mom, which is just great to see. Wholesome stuff. Happy stories for your happy day. Something like that. I don't know. Peaches, pleasant. What's another P word for a story? Can I look that up real quick? Forget it. Peaches Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. You know, Memorial Day is approaching. We're going to have that 3-day long weekend. Memorial Day, taking time to remember the heroes who served our country and the people we've loved and lost who helped shape who we are. So the week after, that following Monday, June 2nd, we're teaming up with Teton Auto Credit for the memorial cleanup at both Rose Hill and Fielding Memorial in Idaho Falls. We'll be out there at 8 a.m. helping clean up, take care of the tributes left behind. If you've got some time, you can come out, lend a hand. It's a simple way to show respect and give back. But if you want to help out somewhere else, like let's say you're in Pocatello, Josh and Chantel from Classy 97 and Teton Honda, they're going to be at the Blackfoot Cemetery at 8 a.m. that same day. If you're in Rexburg, Justin from 105 The Hawk, he's going to be at the Rexburg Cemetery at 10 a.m., and then Katie Lee from Z103, she'll be at the Shelley Cemetery, the earliest out of all of us, at 7 a.m. with Teton Honda. And, of course, Viktor will be at Rose Hill at 8 a.m. I'll be at Fielding Memorial in Idaho Falls. You can stop on by, help out every single one of us. You can help out just us or somebody else. We're just coming together to honor, remember, and restore this upcoming Memorial Day, teaming up with Teton Auto Credit for the memorial cleanup. You can find all the details about what I just talked about through the app. It says Honor and Restore right there on the menu. Click on that, check out the info page, and see if you can make it. Make sure to bring gloves, wear waterproof shoes. I'm going to be wearing some thick snow boots just to make sure I don't step into mud and ruin my Converse, even though they're cheap and old, but still, don't want to ruin them. But yeah, Honor and Restore, Teton Auto Credit. Come on out. And let's, like I said, come together to honor, remember, and restore. The Cleveland Cavaliers had the best record in the Eastern Conference, so their second-round loss to the Indiana Pacers in the playoffs came as a surprise to many. Perhaps the most surprised was Cavs owner Dan Gilbert, who was expecting a cavalanche by the team's offense with a deep postseason run. Gilbert paid more than $500,000 to install fake snow machines in the arena ceiling that could blast confetti throughout the arena's bowl. When the Cavs went on one of their offensive tears, the Cavalanche machine went off exactly once in the entire postseason. Not a great return on investment. The 2025 debut NBA season got rolling over the weekend, and it's arguably going to be the biggest season in the history of the league. I forgot how you say her name. Is it Paige? Oh, just Paige Beckers. That's how you say it. Who was the number one overall pick in this year's WNBA draft, made her debut Friday night. And to celebrate, her hometown of Hopkins, Minnesota, the population's about 19,000 people, changed its name to Paige Beckers, Minnesota. There was an official ribbon cutting ceremony. There was streets in the city were called Beckers Boulevard, and there was even a beer named after her at a local brewery. How is that for making the most of a hometown hero? Bill Belichick's time at North Carolina has been rough at times, and now a player at NC State has taken to throwing darts at the coach. Running back Hollywood Smothers, that can't be his real name, posted a story on Instagram featuring a photo of Belichick with dart holes in and around his body and even one dart in his head. The caption reads, "Target practice. North Carolina and NC State don't play until November 29th, but it's bound to be a spicier game than usual." Bill Belichick, if you play for under him, the best football coach of all time, one of the best. If you were to talk about a Mount Rushmore of head coaches in the NFL, Bill Belichick is on there, no doubt about it. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. Yeah, so I saw this yesterday, and now it's all over the news. Summer is that time of the year when arguments over the thermostat in the house shift from heat to air conditioning. I go to one concert, have a jam-packed weekend, and magically I can't talk for the day. And as we head into those hot months, the U.S. Department of Energy is weighing in on the ideal temperatures to set your AC. Now, there's air conditioning experts out there. They recommend keeping indoor temperatures comfortable, but while keeping the difference between indoor and outdoor temperatures low in order to save money. The ideal temperature, ready for this? 78 degrees. And it says here it should be set even higher when no one is home to save energy. I'm talking about this with the AC behind me blasting, making this room extremely cold. I love the AC in here. I have a bad feeling that this summer it's going to be like a repeat of, 2023, where we had nice, bright, sunny weather, and then it just all of a sudden reached 5 p.m. and we would get rain and thunder every single day. It was horrible. There has been so much rain this past week. It kind of reminded me of the summer of 2023. But my place doesn't have AC. I have a bad feeling I'm going to be headed to the K-Bear studio quite a lot to do some, quote, extra work, but really just to hang out in here in the cooler studio and then wait for it to reach night and then head back home, that type of thing. But yeah, if you're one of those weird people that has your house at 78 degrees, oh, that'd be too hot. That's my parents' weird neighbor. She has her house set extremely hot, but she is that same lady when it's like below 60. She's the typical California lady. Once it goes below 60 degrees, she'll call it freezing and then put on a sweater and act like she's living in Antarctica. I should bring her out here for the Idaho winter and be like, this is what real freezing looks like. I should temporarily do that. Just temporarily bring all of my parents' old people neighbors and just have them be out here in the wintertime and be like, you want to call California freezing? I'll show you freezing. And then send them back to California, and they'll have a newfound respect for the quote-unquote winter months in SoCal. K-Bear 101, I should have included this on the Shot Clock Sports Update. Registration's now open for a clothing-optional 5K race in South Carolina called the Buck Creek Streak. The race, which will be held on June 14th, so you have a little bit of time to still register and plan your vacation for South Carolina. It's being organized by the Carolina Foothills Resort, which, by the way, is a nudist resort in Spartanburg County. Participants can run either 5K or 7.3K, which is about 4 miles, with or without clothing, and are encouraged to protect themselves from chafing, which is the worst thing that happens when you're running. Dude, it's back when I used to run like 5 miles all the time. I'd come home with like bloody t-shirts on the chest area. It would suck. Registration also includes a free lunch and day pass to explore the resorts, again, with or without clothing. I know Viktor loves these like weird nudist things. Again, here's the thing. It's always people you don't want to see naked that you end up seeing naked, and it scars you. Not sure if you saw the video pop up on Facebook or Instagram or anywhere online yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday. A massive Mexican naval ship just straight up crashed into the Brooklyn Bridge. Yeah, that happened. I don't even want to try to say the name of the ship because I will butcher it completely. The ship itself is so cool looking. So cool. Now, I've never captained a ship before, but I feel like the bare minimum is not hitting one of the most iconic bridges on Earth. I've been on the Brooklyn Bridge myself, and it's really, really cool. Really big. Luckily, the Brooklyn Bridge did not get damaged in any way, shape, or form. It was more so the ship, and I think 2 people died from this crash. Let's see here. Social media videos of the crash showed the ship's 147-foot masts sheared off by the impact. I did see an Instagram reel of some like girl posing right below the Brooklyn Bridge, and she's like acting all, for the camera and stuff, and she points up to the sky, and right as she does, this ship right behind her crashes right into it. A total of about 300 people were on board the ship when it crashed. The fire department of New York said 27 people were removed for treatment. Now, did things fall from the top of the ship? Is that what's going on? Because from what I saw, it was just the top of the ship that hit the bottom of the Brooklyn Bridge, and that was it. Now, these poles fall on people. That would suck. That would absolutely suck to get injured or killed by a falling beam because the captain of the boat didn't realize how tall the ship was and thought it would be short enough to fit under. You can't make it duck or you can't move the bridge. But there was a lot of funny comments because somebody posted this exact article in the Life in Idaho Falls Facebook group. A lot of funny comments comparing this crash to the multiple semi-truck crashes that we get around here with the underpasses. Maybe it's the same guy and he's just doing this over and over again all across the globe. Who knows? Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. So apparently the Petrified Forest National Park is broke. And they're getting creative. How creative? Well, they have started using old Megan Thee Stallion twerk videos at the beginning of their TikToks to grab attention. That's what you got to do. That's if you're into social media and you're into content creation, you got to know the hook is the way to hook somebody on right away. And you heard that right. Megan Thee Stallion twerk videos are the way to do it. A U.S. national park is now opening with a hot girl intro before switching to like a shot of fossilized wood and some facts. And honestly, it's working. Views are up. Donations are rolling in. Someone in the park's PR department is now getting a raise, or at least a voucher for something like free trail mix. Their excuse is that the wood in the park is 200 million years old. And, still there. It's an actual quote from the park's social media page. It's pretty funny. Bold move from an account that probably used to just post, pictures of sediment layers. So if you're scrolling TikTok and you see Megan Thee Stallion followed by a dusty piece of tree, don't worry. It's just the Petrified Forest National Park. They're just wild. And the National Park Service, wild in this week. Maybe I should go up to Viktor, who's also our social media director, and be like, hey, you know what? You know what can really help out with our TikTok twerk videos? And who knows? Maybe he'll be the one twerking on the video. I know I will not be doing that. Nobody wants to see that. That's how you get someone to scroll. Maybe let's reuse the Megan Thee Stallion clips and see if it helps out our account. K-Bear 101 FM on TikTok. People feel differently about yearbooks. My parents always paid for mine every single year. And the high school yearbooks, at my first high school, Los Alamitos High School, They had so many students. There was 4,000 students at that high school. So the yearbook was like a Harry Potter book. Giant, colorful, unique. People put a lot of effort into these every year. Well, now that we have AI, this was bound to happen. This person's school used Chat GPT. This is the audio from the this guy's TikTok here.
I paid $65 for this, bro. They use Chat GPT in it, bro. Look, feel free to let me know if you need any adjustments or additional information.
At the very bottom, there was the Chat GPT added note of feel free to let me know if you need any adjustments or additional information. And all the comments are just downright hilarious. You know, they won't let the students use Chat GPT, fire the editor. He's 17 and working for free. Never mind. Someone said, to be fair, no one is supposed to read the text, only look at the pictures. That's what I used to do, right? That's what everyone does. You're supposed to go back to your yearbook and look at the photos and be like, man, I used to look so much better. Or you would judge somebody else, be like, wow, look how much better they looked back then. What happened? So on Ask Reddit, somebody asked, what's a dead feature of the internet you secretly mourn? And the internet's collective response, a resounding all of it. The good old days. You know, everybody's nostalgic. I miss the early 2000s Target with the neon lights and the cool carpet pattern. Remember when the web was a wild frontier of personal blogs, quirky forums, MySpace? You know, you would move around your top 8. You could also stumble upon a GeoCities page dedicated entirely to someone's pet ferret or a fan site of an obscure 80s cartoon. Now it's all polished feeds and algorithm-driven content. One user laminated the loss of forums, comparing them to cozy neighborhood bars where everyone knew your name. Now social media feels more like a crowded festival when you're just another face in the crowd. You know, search engines, there was a time when typing in an error code would lead you straight to a solution. Now, you're going through pages of optimized fluff trying to tell you something. Even YouTube isn't safe. The algorithm pushes the same recycled content, making it harder to discover new creators unless they fit like some sort of specific mold. So if you're feeling if you're longing for the internet's bygone days, you're not alone. I wish there'd be like a research. I think what Josh from Classy 97 down the hallway, instead of using the regular Reddit, I think you can use old.reddit.com and it gives you Reddit how it used to be. Oh, this is hard to look at. I don't know how he does it. I kind of like the new Reddit, but don't tell him. So apparently cats are not only invincible, they also come with built-in GPS now. Meet George. George, who lives in Florida, obviously. He had just been neutered, woke up from anesthesia, and immediately said, you know what? I'm out. Busted out the vet's cage, scaled the fence like it was Mission Impossible, and vanished. A full week later, his owner finds George casually lounging in his favorite chair at home, like he hadn't just pulled off the greatest escape since, the Shawshank Redemption. 3 miles, traffic, drugged out of his little feline mind. Somehow he still made it home. Cats, they're notorious for doing this. The owner said he looked like he just got back from a grand adventure. He says, I'm guessing George probably saw some things, did some things, has a tiny cat tattoo now, but he's back a little skinnier, a little wiser, probably still mad about the whole, neutering situation. Imagine you're at a funeral. You're grieving, trying to keep it together, and then you walk up to the casket and go, that's not Uncle Larry. A family in L.A. now suing a funeral home after they showed up to say goodbye to their uncle, only to find some just completely different dude in his suit. One of the nieces straight up said, I kept looking at him like he couldn't have gotten that dark. He couldn't have tanned that much. And the funeral home's response, no, ma'am, that's definitely your uncle. Like she wouldn't recognize her own relative. They tried to gaslight her at a literal funeral. She even pulled out a photo and the worker went, oh yeah, you're right. Give us a minute. Like they ordered the wrong pizza. And by a minute, they meant 3 hours while the real uncle was probably just chilling in the back. Now the family's suing. And the funeral home is threatening a cease and desist like they're the ones who are wronged. Like I just said, this isn't a DoorDash mix-up. This is somebody's funeral. Just a reminder that no matter how bad your day is going, at least you didn't show up to a funeral, get met with a surprise body swap, and a 3-hour intermission. I was scrolling Ask Reddit again, saw this question. What's your number one driving tip that if everyone followed, we'd all be better off? And you wish everybody, it was mandatory that everybody tunes into Traffic School powered by the Advocates at 8:45 every Friday morning, just because there's so many stupid questions that get asked in the Life in Idaho Falls Facebook group about Idaho law. And it's like you could just call in live to the show and get your answer from Lieutenant Crane. And even then, like, if Lieutenant Crane gives you the answer, for the most part, those people are going to be like, no, I don't believe that. And then just hang up, and then they'll, be one of the worst drivers on the planet. So, top tip for this question, use your turn signal. You wouldn't believe how many people just don't use it. Like, oh, I'm just making a small turn. There's nobody behind me. I don't need to use it. It's that little lever on your steering wheel column. Tells other drivers what you're planning to do. Not using it is like showing up to a party. Not telling anyone. You're bringing your 12 uninvited friends. Another one here that I see, keep your wheels straight while waiting to turn left. That way, if someone rear ends you, you won't be launched into oncoming traffic. It's not rocket science. It's just not dying. And here's a wild concept. Don't tailgate. Following someone so closely that you can read their Spotify playlist or even see that they're listening to K-Bear in front of you too isn't going to make them go faster. It's going to make you both late and or worse. So if we all just used our signals, kept a safe distance, remember that driving isn't a competitive sport, the roads would be a lot less like, the crazy figure eight car races. But until then, make sure to be cautious out there. What was the one that I saw that kind of stuck out to me? It was like, don't be polite. Be predictable, meaning don't give up your right of way to wave someone out into traffic or through an intersection or into a roundabout. Make your stop, wait your turn, go when it's your turn. First of all, I want to give some major props to Sleep Token, earning the number one album in Australia, Austria, Belgium, Canada, Germany, Netherlands, New Zealand, United Kingdom, and of course, right here in the good old USA, Sleep Token, even in Arcadia, number one in a ton of countries. Anyway, here we go with today's To Peach Their Own question. What is the worst city you've ever visited? I don't even know how you say this first one. Somebody put on Reddit, Djibouti City. Is that it? All of those plastic bags you throw away after a grocery store run, all of them end up here. That's what somebody put. Oh, there's the second one. Also, Djibouti. Is that how you say it? Flew in there from Dubai. Burning trash. Absolutely brutal poverty. Cairo, whole city is a dumpster, is what somebody else wrote on Reddit. I asked this in the K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal general chat there. And Sarah put, many will probably disagree with me, but for me, it was New York City. I was there in high school, and I just found it dirty and hard to breathe. It was a downer despite the Broadway show we were there to see. It's probably the Hollywood effect of them romanticizing New York to be this amazing place to go to amazing place to be. And magically, both New York and Los Angeles in all movies have zero traffic. And they might have like a homeless person here or there, but it's not entire encampments and things like that, or they're not doing really gross things unless you're watching some crash show or something like that. But still, I mean, they romanticize both cities. And then you go to LA or New York and like, what is going on? Ashley says Portland, Oregon. I wonder why. Just is that crazy? That's all she put, just Portland, Oregon, nothing else. 208-535-1015. What is your answer for today's To Peach Their Own question? What is the worst city you've ever visited? Alrighty, 208-535-1015. What is the worst city you have ever visited? K-Bear, how's it going?
It's going, my friend.
What's your answer for To Peach Their Own?
Oh, this will get some hate from my children, and if my ex-wife is actually listening, Toulon, Illinois.
And why do you say that?
Let's see here. Not a convenience store in the city, not a grocery store in the city. The only thing you could do, there was a bowling alley, but it had closed down and gone out of business, and the rest of it was nothing but farm fields.
Sounds
You had to
fantastic.
drive.
You sold me
You
on
had
it.
to drive like 35 miles just to get to the closest Walmart.
And it's funny because people prefer that sort of lifestyle. For me, I really don't. I mean, eventually I would like to go back to like the bigger city. And I feel like East Idaho is sort of growing in that direction. I'm like the one guy who's like in favor of it growing, but I might just go somewhere else at some point later down the line.
I mean, not even like a gas station. That's what drove me nuts.
That could almost be like their tagline. Like, you want everything super far away? Come to, what was it, Tulane, Illinois?
Toulon.
Tulane, Illinois. There's also a city called Tulane as well. Well,
Yeah.
anyway.
Toulon and Kewaunee are basically attached to each other, and Kewaunee is the closest city, and they're 25 miles apart from each other.
K-Bear, how's it going?
Hey, Peaches, it's Uncle Yeti out here in Ammon, man.
Hey, what's up with you? How you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing. So I got to say, man, it's kind of a four-way tie. L.A., Portland, Chicago, and Houston.
I kind of see a pattern between all four that you just listed, where
Yep.
a lot of homeless, a lot of too many people. I haven't been to Houston, so I can't really insult it. I actually haven't been to Portland or Chicago either. I've just seen.
Chicago is just like L.A., man. There is so much stinking traffic, and Houston is just as bad. FM 1960, Farm and Market Road 1960. I sat on that road for 3 hours. I made it less than a mile.
Don't you
And
love
that
that?
was at noon. That was at noon to 3
Rush hour
on the way to
doesn't
pick my
exist.
daughter up.
It's
Yeah.
like to completely avoid driving altogether, because as soon as you get in the road, you're going to regret it. That's the new tagline for that city there. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, a.k.a. Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.